you guys just want to jump, like, introduce yourselves and start with that,
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
Hello, everyone.
Keep going, bro.
We are HookedOK. We are an indie rock trio based out of St. Louis, Missouri, greatest city in the world.
Sure.
And we are about to release an album. The album is 8 tracks long. It has many themes recurring throughout the 8 tracks. Themes such as self-destruction, personal responsibility, friendship.
Hell yeah.
So I'm Jonah. I am the bass player and main vocalist.
I'm Keyvan. I play guitar, and that's kind of it.
I'm Bill, drummer for HookedOK. That's it.
Yeah, I mean these songs are fire. Like,
They really are, bro. Yeah. All
Yeah.
recorded in the basement.
Yeah, we
Here.
recorded everything right here, except for some of the guitar was recorded at Bill's apartment.
Yep.
Yeah, self-recorded everything. We wrote the songs over the course of a few months, really.
some of them took like a day, some of them took a couple weeks.
Yeah. I mean, we've only been a band really for like a year.
Yeah, it pretty
going?
much exactly 1 year.
We played like maybe like a month of covers, and then we just
Yeah.
started writing like
Yeah.
immediately. So
Yeah, we started practicing covers to sort of get our feet wet
Mm-hmm.
and feel it out, figure out what we're doing. And then we started writing pretty easily. Usually our writing process goes something like Keyvan presents a handful of guitar riffs that are sort of like the start of a song or like the sperm of a song. And then
Let's rephrase that.
and then the sperm
No,
the sperm travels.
Keyvan's sperm meets your egg.
Yes. And then it creates a zygote.
Yeah.
And
And I
then-
guess I carry it to term. So yeah, it's pretty beautiful, man. It's
Yeah,
a
it really
beautiful
is.
process, bro.
It's pretty much the only band I've been a part of, at least, where the songwriting feels pretty much entirely collaborative. Because in a lot of bands, there's like one person who's really writing the songs, and everybody else has to like learn the songs.
Yeah.
I feel like with our band, we have a good process going.
Oh, for sure. I'd say like everybody contributes equally during the writing process.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had the perspective of like we all, wherever one of us is like not the greatest at, the other one kind of makes up for it. Like I've never been that good at writing lyrics or writing drums, or to be. I mean, like my bass lines have always been pretty simple, but like you're cracked on bass, you're cracked on drums. So like where I can't write pretty solid drum or bass lines, like these two kind of make up for it. But I'm pretty epic on the 6 string, so.
I would say so. Yeah.
You know.
Epic on the 7 string too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, we should talk about how we like met, cause like you've been active in the St. Louis scene for a minute.
Yeah,
Like-
it is pretty interesting. So, so I'm from the area, more specifically the Illinois side of St. Louis, and then I moved into this place like 2 or 3 years ago, and then Keyvan is originally from Louisville, Kentucky, home
Shouts
of
out Louisville, Kentucky.
Knocked Loose, Slint, and Jack Harlow,
Among others.
And Bill is actually from Southern California.
Yeah. Moved here like, how long has it been? Like a year and a half ago, something like that. I moved here last July. And I saw Keyvan had posted on like the St. Louis Musicians Facebook or something.
Mhm.
Posted he's looking for a guitarist. I replied, I'm a drummer looking to do something. I just moved here. Coincidentally, he also had moved. You moved there within the week as well, right?
I moved in September,
Okay.
so
okay.
like, you know, 2 months before, like 2 months after you moved here. I moved
Yeah,
here.
for sure. Yeah, we met up at your apartment.
Yeah.
To start things off, dude. Driving to a stranger's apartment in downtown St. Louis. I mean, looking back, it was kind of risky, but I mean, it worked out. Dude. We're
It's
just
not
regular
risky.
people, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what's the risk?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. My whole perspective was like, all right, this is gonna come over, and I don't know if you guys have ever met up with anybody just like randomly online from
I
those
have a
from
bunch
like
of times.
yeah.
well, so there's either like two ways that it goes. Either like they're normal, but they're like not that good, or they're fucking weird as hell. Bro.
There's layers.
Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
layers
we are
to
weird
it.
as hell, you could say.
Well, I don't know. When Bill, I mean, he didn't like try to kill me or kiss me or anything.
Oh, okay.
So that's like
I guess that's baseline.
that's like the
yeah.
bar is pretty low for
Yeah.
you know that setup.
Yeah, dude.
And we were both like super into hardcore, so we were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. How did we meet you? I posted on Reddit, dude.
Yeah.
I posted
Shouts
on
out
the St.
Reddit.
Louis
So I
subreddit.
lurk the St. Louis subreddit pretty hard at work. It's just like whenever I go into work. We all work pretty standard,
9 to 5.
9 to 5 type
Yeah.
office type jobs.
Mhm.
And so that's kind of part of my morning routine is scrolling through the St. Louis subreddit, seeing what's popping. And there was a post that was basically like, I don't remember, vocalist and bassist wanted or something.
Yeah.
For like, you guys basically just listed a bunch of bands that you like.
Yeah.
And it was
yeah.
like all bands that I liked. And it was all bands that are kind of like in that like heavier side of shoegaze. That is actually kind of what I was trying to do with my previous band, which that band ended up kind of going off in a complete separate direction.
What was I listing? Like Turnstile,
it was
Title
like
Fight,
it was like
Superheaven.
Deftones.
Super Heaven, yeah, Deftones, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the other ones, but yeah, it was all stuff in that same vein, and I was just like, yeah, that's cool. And I was also basically didn't have much going on at the time, so I was kind of like, had extra capacity to try and start something new.
Yeah.
And and I actually had very low expectations because whenever we were like meeting up the first time, because we were just gonna cover "My Own Summer" by
Yeah. Was
that the
Deftones
first one?
and like a Fleshwater song,
Linda Claire.
Linda Claire.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like half learned the songs because I was like, I'm not gonna spend time learning the songs like to a T because I wasn't sure if these guys were gonna show up and they'd be like total amateurs.
Yeah.
But then they were really good, and I was like, holy shit.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, my mind was blown. I was like, wow, we're all like pretty much. It's a real three-way tie for last situation.
Hell yeah, dude.
The first song we wrote that's actually on the album is "Bird in the Hand," right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wrote I think one or two songs before "Bird in the Hand," and "Bird in the Hand" was probably the first song we wrote where I was like, okay, I think we're starting to get a sound. And I was reading a lot of like pretty crazy literature and trying to like find a new style of writing because I was like, okay, if I'm going to be singing in this band, I'm going to have to be writing a lot. And so, yeah, that song felt like I was figuring something out with the writing. I don't remember exactly if I had any specific like points of inspiration on it other than just the feeling of burnout. And that's basically what the song is about. The burnout that you experience from, working too hard and leading to self-destruction, or having the potential to lead to self-destruction, and then you kind of destroy everything that you worked so hard on to begin with. So it's kind of you're walking this fine line, between hard work and burning yourself out. The lyrics are a little abstract, but it was kind of I wrote it over the course of a couple weeks.
Yeah. And like music wise, we always go to that as our like intro track for live sets. I feel like it's probably one of our, I'd say like most atmospheric kind of tracks, like more melodic than our other stuff. Well, I don't know if that's true.
I would say it's like slower and more ambient, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it works nicely as it's kind of like a crescendo. It kind of crescendos up, and then the chorus is like it kind of erupts, and then it goes
Totally.
back to being quiet again.
Yeah. And as far as like on the technical side of that, it's also good for like feeling out rooms for different shows.
Yeah, that's
Totally.
true.
It's a
Yeah.
good song for that.
Yeah.
It's really actually a good sound check song too, because like for the vocals, for example, I start out singing like in a pretty quiet, just like regular singing voice, and then the chorus is like I'm pretty much balls to the wall, like belting,
Mhm.
screaming my ass off.
Mhm.
And so helps me figure out, how close do I need to be to the mic, and like between songs 1 and 2, do I need to be like, hey, can we get more, more or less of something?
And for that, like that delay you throw on the guitar, like you always reference like Rob Scallon
Yeah.
before we play this.
Yeah, the little test. I mean, I have like a preset for it, but if I ever have to like actually set it, like if I can play Rain on this shit, then
Was that your main
it's good to-
inspiration for the like writing the actual riff or no?
Well, when I was like playing around with the chords, and I had the delay set to like mess with that just because the little like dotted eighth thing
Yeah,
delay. I mean, it's in like a lot of different songs.
for sure.
But that's like the first time I heard it was Rob Scallon's little Rain
Yeah,
video from like probably like 12 years ago or
playing in the
something.
parking garage.
Yeah, exactly. And then I just started playing that, like just playing arpeggios of those chords with the delay on it. And then I was like, I'm gonna throw some chorus and some reverb on this shit, and it's a
Mhm.
song. And then obviously we wrote some like other parts for it. Whenever I showed it to you guys, you were like, all right, what's next?
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, I didn't think that far.
yeah. I feel like we're always doing that. Like always trying to add like a C section to a song that would otherwise just be like A B A B. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times that's where the real collaboration comes into, because like let's say if Keyvan brings us an A and a B section, and it's like, okay, that's a good start. And sometimes I'm even just like, this is such a good start that like the song may as well already be done, because it's
Yeah.
like gonna be so intuitive for us to come up with the C section.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's been other times where it's so unintuitive that we try everything, nothing works, and then we scrap the song and move on. Like there was one song where we were toying with the idea of like a reggae breakdown.
Oh god.
That one didn't really come to fruition,
Oh
unfortunately.
yeah, I completely forgot about that one.
I did too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was one with like the weird polyrhythm shit.
No, that was a different one.
That was
That was a
the
different
same
one that we didn't finish.
Yeah.
So the next song on the album is Hey Sister, which is actually I think the most recent one that we've written of the
Yeah.
8 tracks on the album.
Really? Oh yeah, huh? Yeah.
And that one came together pretty quickly. The lyrics are sort of about some family drama that happened in my family, and more broadly, it's about forgiving your parents for generational trauma and trying to mediate conflict between members of your family, because blood is thicker than water. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Hopefully, when the song comes out, it doesn't make the situation worse.
I didn't even think about that.
I thought about
But
it when I was writing
the full saying of that is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, saying like your found friends are better than your.
Oh,
That
well,
is true. Yeah.
Well, so I
So, fuck
flipped
you,
I
bro.
flipped the
I'm
phrase in the song. I flipped
joking.
the phrase to be blood is thicker than the tears that fall from your eyes.
Oh shit!
Damn, dude.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
New idiom unlocked.
I wasn't even hip to that, bro.
yeah.
I'm not even hip to the lyrics that you're writing, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that both of my family members will probably hear the track,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope they get the point, the larger point. I hope they don't,
I hope so too, man.
yeah. And I think they will. I think they will, because they're both hip to me having been a musician and writing songs. And sometimes whenever you write stuff about people then they're like, oh, this is probably about me, isn't it? It can be.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Well, whatever negative feelings they may come out of the lyrics with, they'll be assuaged by the epic riffs, bro.
That's true.
That'd be
Well,
all
I mean,
good.
the song is not. It's not like shitting on anybody in my family. It's really, the song is trying to bring people together.
As far as that one goes, it's kind of a bad example of. I wouldn't say a bad example of interesting instrumentation, but it's like it came together really fast.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
there's kind of nothing too notable about it, because I had like the intro riff, the verse, and then some chords for the chorus, and then you guys kind of filled out more of the
Yeah,
the
man.
rhythm side, and then obviously you ended up finishing it with the lyrics. It's in drop C, the best tuning on the
Oh
planet.
yeah.
Bro, don't
yeah.
give it away. It's in everything is in E standard.
Gatekeep the tuning. Yeah.
It's actually an FAC GCD.
If you don't play in E standard, then you're not a real musician.
Damn, that's a hot take, man.
You're
It's
gonna get
alienate
canceled
our
for that
fans,
one.
bro. Yeah.
If 8 Young's gonna come at your throat.
I was
Yeah.
hoping you guys would just go along with it.
Oh.
I'm not going along with that, man.
All right,
I
take
can't-
it
I can't
back.
support
It
you,
was a
bro.
joke.
So okay, the next song on the album
Yeah,
is A Life Cut Short.
yeah, A Life Cut Short, which I think the lyrics are kind of obvious what they're about. It's even in the title. It's about dying young. And I think, you know, everybody has friends that die and stuff, and whenever you're like still a young lad such as us, you know, it's pretty impactful, you know. It's not like whenever, you know, your great grandpappy kicks the bucket at 95, you're kind of like expecting that one. But when your homie who's like 24 dies, it's like it's tough, you know.
True.
And but the song is supposed to be a little bit of a call to action, you know, because whenever somebody dies, it should sort of light a fire under your ass. That, you know, because so many people are walking around like having basically given up on life, and, you know, being alive is you get one shot at it, and you gotta make the most of your opportunity to like do something, you know, do what you want to do and try and make an impact.
Totally. Yeah. I don't know if it's like the song's message that's resonating with a lot of people that have listened to the demo, or if it's like the instrumentation, probably both. But like, it's easily, I feel like, our most popular track.
Yeah, it's also really catchy.
Yeah.
I think people.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I have this one of my friends that just bought a shirt from us. In the Venmo transaction notes, he just like wrote out the lyrics of Life Cut Short.
Yeah, I mean, like, whenever I first had the like little riff, and just I had written like one line. That was more because like I was thinking back from like how much I had personally changed like over the course of like the past 3 years, and I was thinking like, man, like if I had like some of my buddies, I was like, oh, if that motherfucker didn't die, like who would he be today? Because like I'm not the same person I was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like what you were saying, where it's supposed to be like drive you to
Yeah, yeah.
be I don't want to say better.
Well,
Well, supposed to be better.
well, yeah, to be better and to like get off your ass, you know. One thing I do want to point out about this song that it wasn't necessarily on purpose, but when I listen back to it, I'm like, this is like kind of epic how thematic it is. There's a line where the line is like super simple. It's like, and what does it mean when time goes by? And then there's just like a big pause with no lyrics. And I didn't mean for that to happen, but it kind of rips
Oh, yeah.
thematically.
Textual painting, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it makes you think, you know, it really, whenever you're listening to it and you're posed this rhetorical question, what does it mean when time goes by?
Yeah.
And then you just have to sit there and listen to
This epic riff, bro.
you really think and you sit with that question for a few seconds.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess as far as the instrumentation goes, I think the most interesting thing, at least for me, was there was like one point we were jamming on it, and I made like a mistake. I say mistake. It was still like in key or whatever. But then you two were like, "Oh, I thought that was on purpose. Like, keep that in. Like, leave that shit in." And it kind of goes to show like when you're in a band with people who are like comfortable with their musicianship, like they're more than willing to give you like pointers and like tell you like, "Oh, that was sick as fuck. Like, keep that in, or like add this kind of thing."
Totally. What spot are you talking about? Like,
There's
specifically?
a part in the I don't know if it's like the pre-chorus.
Yeah.
But you know where instead of doing like the da I do like
Yeah.
the da da ba ba ba.
Oh,
that
yeah,
little
yeah,
like
yeah,
first
yeah.
chord that like it's like the little da da ba ba.
Yeah.
That was a completely on accident the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time I did it.
All came together.
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, no, that song rules. I think
Mhm.
as soon as we wrote that song, we were like, yo, this song's crazy.
That's definitely one of my
catchy.
favorite to play out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
song to play.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
on guitar, the riff is really fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
I remember also, like, whenever I was finishing the lyrics, I, like, had an idea of what I wanted the vocal melody to be, but it was, like, too hard for me to sing. So I was, like, that song really kind of pushed me to get a little bit better at singing. Like, because some of the high notes are basically, they were, like, out of my range at the time, but I
Mhm.
was just, like, I just kind of, like, expanded my range by writing just out of it and just, like, really, you know, chipping away at it, practicing it, trying to hit the notes and
Totally.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
Sweet.
the drums are sick on it, dude.
Hey, man.
A little like ta 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 ta.
I mean, like, I guess it's kind of cool how, like, coming out of the, like, right before the last chorus, like, I switched the floor tom, bring things down.
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
that is
saying?
cool.
Yeah. I really like playing around with, like, dynamics levels. So, yeah, I don't know. Coming right down before, like, the build up to an actual, like, final chorus, I feel like is a very effective move, for sure.
I
Yeah.
agree. The next track is What's Amore, which actually started. Keyvan wrote the chorus for it originally, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were sort of riffing on that. That's Amore.
Yeah.
Moon in the eye, big pie.
I wrote some like
Pizza pie.
it's
Yeah, man.
it was definitely like not a parody, I guess, of that, because it is not like
reference,
a
a
lot of
quote.
it's like a reference to that.
Yeah.
And I wrote like some of the some like dumbass lyrics to it that Jonah definitely repurposed and made them a little bit
Yeah, I
a
rewrote
lot
some of
better. But all right, it was kind of I wrote it like during COVID, and it was kind of just like sort of being ashamed about how I was spending my time alone a little bit. Because there's like a part where I was just like drinking a lot and like playing like video games and shit by myself, but like I didn't want to throw like video game references in there, so I chose board games instead.
Dude, you said like
Well-
you sunk my battleship or something?
Yeah.
Well, we took that out. Yeah, that got.
Oh yeah,
There's
that got cut. But
That's
you
the
know, like
demo,
the
bro.
but
Yeah,
the, like
now
the
it's
idea
vague
is
now.
that
It's
it's
playing
vague.
games.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is good
yeah.
because it's vague, and it could also mean, like, I don't know.
Conceptual games.
Yeah, it could mean anything.
Yeah. For sure.
You know.
Dude, that was one of the first songs we actually jammed on at your apartment.
Yeah.
You pulled that riff out. It started as like almost like a swing kind of thing, like
Oh yeah, it was. I think it was the whole thing was swung, and then we kind
Yeah,
of changed it to be
strained
straight.
out. Yeah.
Or like a Strokesy type.
Yeah, we were thinking. Yeah, the Strokes was a
Mhm.
reference point on that
Totally.
one.
Yeah. Literally, like as I was mixing the track for the album, like the reference track I'm using is Hard to Explain by the Strokes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think the flip of the That's Amore song is really cool though, because that song That's Amore is all about sort of being like mystified and walking around and being like, oh, life is so beautiful. And then this song is actually just about being like disillusioned and like almost feeling like you've lost the spark or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also it's self-aware in that, like, in the song, it's the narrator of the song is like, clearly I'm, doing this to myself. There's a lot of references to alcohol in the song. And so if you become a functioning alcoholic, then it's not exactly surprising that you would sort of start to feel numb about the world
Yeah.
in certain ways.
Yeah, I read the whole thing as like a seasonal depression kind of thing too.
Yeah, well, it is that too,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mhm.
And I was like referencing that a little bit with the verses because I think that's pretty good imagery, because I think a lot of people have like these cycles of like, I don't know, they just kind of like check out from society, especially around here. I find that almost like a good percentage of people in St. Louis over the winter months like get really depressed and like don't leave the house and stuff. And I personally don't have that to the extent that a lot of people I know do, but I do, have my own struggles with like trying to keep my drinking in check and not be a functioning alcoholic, because it's really easy to be a functioning alcoholic, and it's very normalized in this country
Mhm.
of just like people, coming home and smashing like 3 or 4 beers every night. And you can do that and feel okay and be like, this is totally fine, but it's making you numb and keeping you from like going out and doing things.
Contemplate the cycle, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The winter arc.
Yeah, man. Winter arc's not good, bro, for some people, man. That's not like what it is where I'm from, man. California is just
Yeah, you don't even have
beautiful
that.
weather all day.
There is one line I actually want to talk about, which is the second verse, moths coming out the floorboards. That was actually a specific reference, just because this house just for like during like as soon as the spring hits, like
Moths come out the floorboards.
Just like bugs and shit start appearing out of nowhere, and it gets out of control so fast. And I like, there'll be like moths everywhere, and it's like, I mean, I usually get it under control with like roach killer,
Sure, yeah,
and that sort of thing.
yeah.
But I also have like seasonal allergies pretty bad. That can be a huge bummer too. Like if you, it's almost, to me, it's like worse than seasonal depression is seasonal allergies. That's why I was like, I wanted to extend it into spring. It's like, yeah, like winter, because it's already kind of like obvious to riff about like winter is like depressing and bleak.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like, nah, actually spring.
Spring sucks.
Spring
for a lot of
sucks
people,
the worst because bugs start appearing out of nowhere. Pollen, yeah, dude. People you're basicly just sick the whole time because like you have allergies.
Well, you say all this vegetation leaves me in a vegetative state.
Yeah.
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 Pop some
Dude, I thought the lyric was all this hesitation.
No. It's all the vegetation.
Vegetation, bro.
All the vegetation leaves me in a vegetative state.
We are anti-pollen, bro. The song is anti-pollen for sure.
Bro.
Yeah.
Fuck pollen, for real. Pull up.
It ties into the themes of, personal responsibility and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and musically, I mean, like, I feel like it's pretty different from a lot of the tracks that we have on the album in the sense that it's like straight up almost a surf rock track.
Yeah, it's pretty upbeat.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into the lyrics too, because it's like the whole like functioning alcoholic thing is like everything's cool, but you're like just you're fucking up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Invisible Friend is about the idea of being the invisible friend and also of having the invisible friend. It's sort of written from both sides of this relationship dynamic that can occur whenever you have somebody who, imagine the protagonist of the previous song we discussed, What's Amore. This person becomes the invisible friend whenever they're not leaving their house and they're just staying home drinking and playing video games, and like people check in on you and you're just like being flaky and I've been that person and I've also had that friend, and I think that it's important to like understand, like have an understanding either way.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, because everybody goes through, stuff. And that song originally started because Keyvan, the lyrics at least, Keyvan was telling us a story about a party.
Yeah. It was just me and a few buddies were meeting up just talking about this party we'd gone to, and one of our friends who was there was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that one." And we were like, "Bro, you weren't there." Like we remember this pretty vividly. Like you weren't there because it was like something like very specific and like unique had happened. And then he ended up pretty much describing exactly what happened to a T, and I was like, "Oh shit, you were there." And we felt so bad for like trying to gaslight him into thinking he wasn't there, like accidentally. And I just kind of like threw that out there, and then Jonah cooked on it.
He's the OG invisible friend, man.
Yeah, well, it was such a good story because it was like, to me, it spoke volumes about like, it was like a great example of like this thing that I've experienced both sides of before,
Totally.
like, many times.
Yeah.
And it's something I've thought about a lot because like it can be easy to like feel like you're the outsider of your own social group, especially if you're somebody who's like introverted anyway. It was a cool topic to explore, and it was kind of therapeutic for me a little bit because I felt like I was writing to myself a little bit and being like, "It's cool, bro.
Totally.
It's all right."
Yeah. Musically, I feel like Invisible Friend has some of our most like interesting moments.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Time signature changes. We were playing in like 21 at one point or
21
something.
over 8.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't counted it out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we didn't count it out. Keyvan just played it, and then me and Bill were like, "That's crazy."
Yeah.
And we figured it out, but
yeah, that specific section of it, like I don't know what you guys call that, like the hook chorus.
I think that is the chorus.
Yeah,
yeah.
That was one of the most like challenging songs to write drums for. So I kind of thought about it as like it's like a regular song, but it's like almost like a skipping record kind of thing. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know. Just to hear that riff actually finally get like fleshed out as we were writing it was like so interesting because I had never I usually never play like odd measure stuff. Like I'm pretty much like a 4/4 kind of guy. So like to challenge myself like that, I feel like that is definitely one of the moments that pushed me to be a better musician like from this band. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of the things like I also normally don't play in like super odd time signatures, but that one flows like so naturally.
Totally.
In that odd time signature.
Mm-hmm.
that like you almost, unless you count it out, like you don't really notice. Like if you're playing it, you obviously notice because you like have to count it out. But like when you're listening to it, it doesn't feel odd.
For sure, yeah. I think that's one of the reasons I don't like playing in odd measures, because it feels like, oh, like you're definitely playing in like an odd measure. Like
It seems like shoehorned in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
It's like why do this in that time signature when you can make something that sounds similar and has the
Totally.
same feel?
I feel like a lot of people play odd measure for the sake of playing odd measure.
Yeah, like prog bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
Not trying to fire shots.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it can be kind of contrived if you're like into prog music and you're like, let's make a prog rock song and it's got odd time signatures.
Yeah.
Like if you're starting from that, I feel like it doesn't often yield that good of results.
We never write like that. I feel
Nah.
like nobody's ever like, oh, we need to write a song in 7 or something like that.
Well, we have done that, and usually those songs get scrapped. I feel like anytime that our writing process does become like, let's start from this trope, it doesn't come to fruition because we're all kind of like, yeah, this is lame. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's got to be authentic. The music has to represent us, you know?
Yeah, and the riff that we play, or the multiple riffs that we play in this song, I feel like are very authentic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They flow very well, in my opinion. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. It's a good track.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's all right. And then the other song about friendship, it's a different angle on a similar topic, and that song is Sour Grapes. It's a bit of a mean-spirited song, but I want to elaborate on what's it about a little bit. It's basically about having old friends who you don't have really anything in common with them anymore but the past, and they sort of are stuck in the past and like almost are like an arrested development, you know, like, and you feel like you've kind of moved on and outgrown them. A lot of people who I grew up with are almost like stuck in kind of like a victim mindset where they feel like their lives are falling apart, and even though it's like pretty much entirely due to their own bad decisions, this song is kind of mocking them a little bit, but it's out of love, because ultimately I want people to like prove me wrong. Like I want people to want to prove me wrong, you know? Go touch grass. Like that's the...
You can say the same thing to us, though. I feel like we all need to touch grass.
Well, no, but I mean, so it's like specifically when people feel like their lives are terrible and it's like there's nothing they can do to change it, or you offer your help and they just like don't want any help. It's like
some people just can't be helped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like some people like they just want to be miserable, and sometimes they're even like mad that you're not miserable.
Yeah,
like, I've had that experience, and this is not about any specific people, because I've had this experience with like multiple different people from different walks of life, from different parts of my own past, and it's just like a general phenomenon that I've observed. Any other thoughts on that one?
I mean, you had pretty much the entire lyric writing process.
Yeah, actually, that one was interesting because we wrote it without Bill.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's so true. Yeah, I had gone on like an extended vacation or something. I don't remember when this was. Like maybe like Thanksgiving break or something like that. I don't know. And I had come back. You guys had written a whole song without me, so I just kind of hopped in, and you know, it was pretty smooth, honestly. The riff is sick. It's super catchy. Super easy to write to. Yeah, it was all good.
That was definitely one where like the intro riff is a little hard to play. So I had to practice that one a little bit. At least at getting it clean.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
The penultimate track on the album is Worldview. Worldview is a song about religion and the role that it plays in individual people's lives. Just briefly to talk about, you know, the inspiration for it, for the lyrics at least. Let's see, I was reading a lot of Russian literature, and a lot of that stuff is like about, you know, the God question. And I was thinking about like, so I was raised religious, and like my brother, who's like 5 years older than me, is very religious and still very religious to this day. And I was thinking about this specific conversation that I had with him whenever I was like 14 and he was 19, I think, roughly. And I was sort of in my edgy atheist phase, and like I was I still like wanted to believe, but to me it was kind of like almost like trying to believe in Santa Claus or something.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
it just felt like impossible to believe because I just thought it was so ridiculous. And so I was really grilling my brother about his beliefs because I wanted him to like make it make sense to me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember he just got like so pissed and was just like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I've already made up my mind. And I still think about that like years later because like it took me many years to realize that like for some people religion is kind of like this thing that you're like opting into because you believe that it has value. Like it's not necessarily like you don't necessarily have to believe like everything in the Bible literally happened, for instance, to like believe that, you know, Jesus was spitting some good, you know, philosophy.
For sure.
And so the song is about, yeah, is it just about religion from that angle of like some people almost need religion or are better with religion. Like it's like an important core part of who they are, and that's good. It's like a good thing. Like you don't, even if you're not religious, you don't have to be like, you know, a dick about religion to other
Yeah.
people. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
okay for people to be religious.
I mean, I can relate. I also had like an edgy atheist phase growing up, you know. So, yeah, it definitely took I mean, I guess like a decent amount of time for me to like come to my senses and realize that same message. Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it doesn't hurt
Per-
anybody.
personally, I just, you know, have never been too religious.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, I have had my own struggles with religion, just like, you know, I am Middle Eastern, and so you're like, oh, should I just be Muslim because I'm Middle Eastern? And then, you know, you're in the U.S. where most people are Christian, and you're like, should I go to church so that I have friends? I think that's I mean, at least, especially in the South, like that's a big reason why most people go to church. Because that's their community. Like in those small townships, like if you're not part of the church, you're not part of the community.
Totally. You just get ostracized just for
Yeah.
not being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you kind of just have to force yourself to believe it because like that's your whole life. That's essentially your whole life.
Yeah, and I will say, I will make the exception because I don't want us to be on the record like glazing up organized religion too much because I want to make the exception that obviously there's many cases where religion is used as a force for political control
For sure.
and you know all kinds of horrific crimes against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I'm talking about is just, you know, an individual and their relationship with God and, you know, and also just like the general idea of like the God question and like everybody has their own dialogues with themselves about it, you know, like is there a God? What's the meaning of life?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
It's
put
religion.
that choir on it, bro.
Oh, yeah.
That church choir's on there.
So
Yeah.
as of the time of this video, it's not fully mixed yet, but the vocals on this track are crazy. They're very Broadway-esque, very theatrical. Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
that is something that you went into this songwriting process
No.
like knowing, or
No, it was purely just like opportunistic a little bit where like a lot of times when I'm tracking vocals, I'll just add layers kind of like by feel. I kind of just get into a flow state and I'm not really thinking about it too much. But with this one, the end result of that ended up sounding like, yeah, almost like a choir on the chorus.
totally. Yeah.
And then like there's this extra vocal that I threw down just because I was feeling it. That was like it really is like a Broadway thing almost.
Yeah.
But it to me I'm so glad it worked out like that because it ties into the themes of it, you know, being about religion
For
because
sure.
it's very like church-esque.
Yeah.
And also the Broadway-esque thing, like shout out to my brother who's like really into Broadway musicals. So, and he's, you know, someone who inspired the lyrics. So
It's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad it worked out that way because the vocal track on this one is
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
Song goes out to Drew,
Hell yeah.
Hell
my
yeah.
brother Drew. Shout out.
Shout out Drew, man.
I mean, there's some very interesting like drum, guitar, and bass work on this. Like
Oh yeah, there's some really crazy
there's
stuff
there's
actually.
some
Mhm.
moments where we all kind of shine.
Totally. Yeah, there's like, I mean, there's time signature changes. There's like metric modulation. Like core note becomes dotted eighth note at one point. I don't know.
We pulled out all the stops on this one.
Yeah. It's definitely one of my other favorites to play live for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out of like basically practice routine, which is apparently pretty common. Like a lot of songs come out being written from practice routines. Like the solo for Sweet Child of Mine was like a fucking finger exercise for Slash. Not the solo, the intro, like the
Yeah.
boo-doo-doo-doo-boo-doo.
Talk about that outro, bro.
That outro, yeah, the little. I think I wrote that first.
Yeah.
That outro was like the first thing I wrote, and then I was like, well, there's got to be like a song for it. We had the outro, but then we needed something to go into it, and that's when we did like the ba-da ba-da-da ba-da ba-ba-da-da.
Mhm.
And I just kind of really like the like go clean, little jazzy, kind of like swing.
Yeah, a little
Bit.
Latin thing at the end, man.
Yeah.
Super fun to play. But that's a lot of people's like one of the most memorable moments from our live set as well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, that one is so epic.
Yeah.
And then there's more hybrid picking on that one.
Yeah.
There's like a couple things I do on this song in the lyrics that are like super idiosyncratic for me at this point. Like it's just stuff I like to do with songwriting because I like when other songwriters do it. 3 different things. First thing is, starting in media res. Is that what
Yeah.
it's called?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so it starts like, in the middle of a thought, and it kind of comes out of nowhere. Second thing is there's a lot of rhetorical questions, which I think just work well as I think rhetorical questions work well as lyrics because, if you're the listener, you're kind of like forced to ponder these questions, start thinking about the topics.
Totally, yeah. Like,
And
what's
then-
the first line? It's like,
Sure.
sure, was it fun? It was fun. Was it pointless?
Yeah. Like the song just starts out the gate like having you question like, okay, wait, what are we talking about? Something was fun, but was it pointless? Like, what in life is sacred? Like we're just trying to even figure out, what's important to us in this life.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing is the use of idioms and like flipping idioms, which is like very common in country music. There was like a couple years ago I got pretty into some country music after like having gone my whole life hating country music. I got into like a couple country artists, and it was mostly because I liked the songwriting. I liked how clever the lyrics were, and that's like a big trope in country songwriting is like taking an idiom and like flipping it on its head,
Yeah, sure.
or like really expanding it into like a really deep nested metaphor. And so there's so many idioms in this song that are really fun. Like the second verse is just like all idioms. It's like, what if the well has been poisoned? It's do or die, but there's no hill to die on. That's
Idiom
3
chain
idioms
after
in a
chain.
row, dude.
Idiom after idiom after
Yeah.
idiom, man. Has anybody ever chained 3 idioms together, dude?
Probably only like Willie Nelson or like one of those, like only the greats,
Yeah.
Maybe Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
So it's like Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, and then Jonah.
Yeah, and then me. Yeah.
Maybe Sexy Red's done it a couple
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Oh, and Sexy Red.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout
for
out.
sure, dude.
Anyway, there's one final song on the album, and there's not much to talk about with this one because there's not a lot of lyrics. But the song is called Trapped Inside a Shoebox Filled with Marbles. And it's mostly an instrumental song and kind of like serves as an outro. We usually play it. I mean, I think we've always played it last.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah, it'd be kind of awkward to play that.
Yeah, it would be a little anticlimactic to play
Yeah.
it first or something.
Yeah.
The lyrics that are there are pretty much about social media, but like specifically like the effects of social media on people's like way of thinking. And like basically how it can just like demotivate you and like devalue you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 main ways that it does that. One is people get kind of stun locked into like scrolling for like long periods of time. Some people, that's like the main thing they do outside of, work. They go home and just like scroll. That pretty much just fries your brain. I feel like it can get you to a point where you like can't even have like a complete thought. You know what I mean? Because your brain is
I'm
just
there, bro. Yeah.
completely fried from scrolling. But also, I don't think people even like scrolling anyway. I think it's just like it's meant to be addictive. I mean, it's just like pumping shit directly into your brain, So it's kind of like, and I think it also is like creates like, it fosters like schizoid personality types in people where it's like, because if you think about it, like you have all of these like tech companies and advertisers who are all competing for your attention. And like they're in your house, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they're they're in your pocket, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't escape the man, dude. You can't escape
The machine,
the hyper
bro.
capitalist, hyper consumerist.
It's all encompassing, all enveloping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like I don't think it's good for people. I think
Oh,
I mean,
definitely not.
Yeah, it's obviously like really bad for a number of reasons. And I think there's another side to that too, where like something I've personally experienced. I think everybody also has some experience with this, and it's been said a million times. Comparison is the thief of joy. But specifically, not just like whenever, the obvious example people give is like young girls seeing models or whatever and having like body issues. But it goes further than that, because I mean, it goes all the way to like, let's say, I want to be like, let's say as a kid, I want to be the best bass player in the world. And then I go online and I see videos of just people who are way better than me. And I'm just like, well, it's already been done. Like, there's no reason for me to even try. You know what I mean? Like, you just give up before you even start. Before social media, you'd be like, I want to be the best bass player in the world. And then, like, maybe about, like, one or two really epic bass players. And then they become, like, your role models. And you, like, walk in their path and try to, like, I mean, that's just a very specific example. But
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it sets your point.
Yeah, it definitely rings true for a lot of people, like regardless of like what you're trying to do or like what you're trying to be the best at, quote unquote. You know? Yeah.
I mean, like, because I've had plenty of experiences where I have like an idea that I feel really strongly about in that moment of coming up with the idea.
Mhm.
And then before I'm able to execute the idea, because executing an idea takes a lot of hard work, sustained hard work,
True.
and discipline.
Yep.
I see that somebody else has already done it on the internet, and then I'm like, and maybe I even look for it because I'm like, I want to see if it's been done before.
Yeah.
And as soon as you see that it's been done before, you're like, well, there's no reason for me to do it.
Yeah.
But if you get into that like pattern of thinking, then you're basically just like shut down. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
you're just not gonna do anything. And so it really stifles creativity to have so much at your fingertips. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Like you can also think about it as like your brain is like a sponge, and then like creativity is like wringing out the sponge. But like in the current age of technology and social media and things like that and the internet, the sponge is just being fucking blasted with water, and you can't wring it out because it's being blasted with so much water. I mean, you're just submerged in water. You're wringing it out underwater. It's like, so sometimes you really do need to just remove yourself from it and just like delete Instagram, log out for a long time and touch grass, and that's what the song is about.
Black metal song about touching grass.
Dude, right? Wringing out the sponge underwater is kind of a crazy like analogy.
Visual. This is the only song on the album that we do blast beats on, which is kind of cool, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so unless you're just like feeling yourself on one of the other ones.
Yeah. I don't know. I really like Death Heaven. So I feel
Me
like
too.
that's kind of my. I mean, I feel like it's sacrilegious to say, but that's kind of my baseline for black metal. I guess that's like my entry point for black metal. It was Death Heaven. So to be able to play like a blast beat over like this type of stuff, I feel like it's an interesting choice. I have a lot of fun playing it. And I think it is another. I mean, I guess all of these songs are like favorites to play live for me, but yeah, this one's pretty fun. I feel like people react very positively to the blast beat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people, I mean, we're not like a black metal band.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what's cool is like you can throw in something that's like pretty much just black metal, and people will actually really vibe with it if it's like used in a good context, or it's like, not your whole set.
For sure. Yeah.
Because it's kind of like this epic conclusion to our set
For
where
sure.
we're like,
Yeah, and then the little outro just completely changes up.
Dude, the whole song is basically the outro. If you really think
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I was about to say, like the black metal thing is only like so short lived. It's like a minute of the song or
that's
something.
true. Yeah. It's really
The
only
rest
like a
is
minute
just
and a
like
half.
I don't even know how to describe the outro. It's like
Psychedelic, bro.
yeah, I guess like some sort of psychedelic jazz metal.
That like original little riff that I had written, like the little that was I had written as like kind of more of like a metalcore thing. It was like slower and had a lot different feel to it. There's a video of the first iteration of it posted on my TikTok from like 2 years ago. Not trying to plug my TikTok. I'm just saying like, if you listen
right
to
after we just talked about scrolling.
hey,
bro.
no. Don't look at it.
Delete TikTok right now.
Yeah.
Like that was supposed to be more of like a hardcore kind of metalcore thing, and then I think you were just like, just fucking speed it up. And I was like, all right. And then we sped it up, and it became what it was. And then the outro, I mean, when we were writing that, I was just like, hey, like play fucking like 2 arpeggios, and then I'll just like shred over it.
Yeah, the outro just came together so magically, because I think you were like, from what I remember, you were like, I have this lead idea, and I'm imagining it's like over some arpeggios or something, and I was just like, okay, arpeggios, got it. And then like I basically just immediately came up with the like bass riff, and then it just all, I feel like, fell into place. Sounded sick.
Especially because like you play 6 string, so I was like, let's just try to use some more of that like extended range, like full like long arpeggios. It goes from like this super intense, like in your face song about like I don't even know what the lyrics are about.
Yeah.
But like,
we just talked about it, bro.
Yeah. and like Jonah's just like going crazy on the mic, and then it goes into like a very emotional kind of like ambient instrumental portion, and then it like crescendos up,
For sure.
and then we just kind of end the set. We pack up and go home.
We workshopped that outro for a long time. I feel like I remember like every practice that we do, like during like the writing portion of this album or whatever, like we would like riff on that outro for literally like 10-20 minutes straight. Just like trying out like different like ideas, like recording them all, listening back to them later, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was kind of on the fence about, I was like, how much weird like pedal effects should I put on this, and just like not really do like that much playing, and just like rely on just like doing crazy shit on the pedal board.
Yeah.
And just like making weird sounds. And then I found like a happy medium where I can still like shred and play some interesting stuff, and then also have like weird stuff happening on the soundscape side.
Yeah, as improvised as the outro sounds, it is like really the distillation of like a lot of like minutes of playing this like riff just over and over, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'd say we definitely refined it down, even though it sounds still like pretty improvisational, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's definitely thought out.
We could end it just being like, yo, who like specifically influences your playing?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, for like singing or for bass?
Both.
Okay,
I guess short list for both, yeah.
Okay, yeah, my short list, Geddy Lee is number 1.
That's surprising to me, actually.
Well, so
that one I knew.
No, and hear me out. I don't think that Rush's music has aged super well for me personally, but I grew up listening to Rush, and Geddy Lee was the guy who inspired me to pick up bass.
That's sick, dude.
And he's also, like, the stuff he does while singing is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And so I would say overall he's my biggest inspiration as a bass player.
Cool.
Also, obviously, Jaco Pastorius. Every bass player, you know, like,
Jaco's kind of the
studies
guy.
some Jaco.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, I also want to shout out Scott LaFaro, upright bassist who played with Bill Evans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play upright bass, but I love jazz music, and his bass playing is like so beautiful, and has inspired me a lot.
Yeah, influences for me, Neil Peart from Rush. Rush was the first band I ever saw play live at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Shout out Rush. They were touring for Clockwork Angels, I think, was that tour. Yeah, Neil was a huge inspiration to me. I grew up, like, I started playing rock and, like, prog rock and stuff, and I quickly moved to jazz in, like, middle school, high school, going into college, played big band, whatever. But Neil was kind of, like, one of the first, like, drumming idols that I had. And then on my Mount Rushmore of drummers, Stuart Copeland from The Police. I think The Police is probably one of my favorite bands of all time. And I think Stuart Copeland is one of the greatest drummers of all time. Severely underrated in the drumming discussion, I think. Actually, I don't know if that's true. But yeah, I really like Stuart Copeland. Other influences, Tony Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Newer guys in the jazz, R&B, hip-hop scene, Chris Dave. I like listening to drummers, but I also have a lot of like other like just musicians in general that influence me, like Bill Evans, for example. I feel like it's a huge influence.
For me, I've listened to a wide breadth of things over time, but I think it really starts out with I my guy shouts out Mario Camarena, Eric Hansel, the Chon Boys.
You're a huge Chon head, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I mean they're solid. They're not dead. They just don't play music anymore. or at least professionally. I think, Pat Martino is definitely a big one. Very famous jazz guitarist.
Cool.
Man, there's this Neo Soul guy on YouTube. It's like this Japanese dude. I forget his name. Him and his wife. His wife plays trumpet.
Hell yeah.
And they do like jams, and they post those videos. Like, that shit is amazing. I love that stuff. As far as bands go, shit like Joy Division. I gotta shout Will Putney and Jason Richardson. Those two, they fucking rip in terms of like the metal side of things.
Yep.
Like, that was definitely, I would say like Will Putney definitely changed my brain chemistry. As far as like songwriting though, it's gotta be guys like Joy Division and like My Morning Jacket. That was the first band I ever saw live, was My Morning Jacket.
On the topic of songwriting, I want to shout out some literature, bro. Shout out Kurt Vonnegut. Kurt Vonnegut is goated. If you don't read books and you want to start reading books, just pick up a Kurt Vonnegut book. They're pretty easy to read, and they're funny, and they're really philosophical, but like in a fun way. Shout out Henry Miller. Henry Miller is pretty much the best author ever. Tropic of Cancer is a life-changing book. The great Russian authors, Leo Tolstoy and Fyodor Dostoevsky. I don't even need to say anything else.
Dude, shout out O'Doul's. Shout out
O'Doul's,
Diet Coke. Shout out
Anheuser-Busch.
LaCroix.
San Pellegrino.
We're not sponsored.
We should be. We should have a beverage sponsor, man.
That would be cool.
I get thirsty as hell during shows, man.
I know you do.
Once again, we are HookedOK from St. Louis, Missouri. Got an album coming out in most likely late March or early April.
You have an album title?
Not
There's
yet.
no
Not
album title
yet.
yet.
We're workshopping
We could
that.
we could just say we could do a take of every possible album title.
There's so many, bro. There's so many out there.
I thought of a new one.
Yeah?
Reckless Abandonment.
Reckless Abandonment by HookedOK. Reckless Abandonment. We'll workshop it,
Kind of
man.
goes hard. Or
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Abandonment.
I think
Worldview?
Worldview is good. Yeah.
Worldview is good. I think.
Worldview's good as a title track.
Worldview would be cool. Or Terminal, bro. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I'm just not fucking with Terminal.
I'm
Okay.
not either.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. The trio is kind of like the ultimate songwriting and like decision-making unit, because there's no ties. It's always 2 against 1, or everybody's in agreement.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to make decisions.
A powerful tool, man.
Yeah. And,
Triangles are powerful structures.
yeah, and it happens all the time
Oh,
where
yeah.
one of us has an idea and the others are like, nah. And it's like, and I don't think any of us ever get our feelings hurt about it. It's always just like, yeah, you're right. I mean, if it's 2 against 1, then like obviously the idea sucks.
Nah, I go home after practice. I'm seething, bro.
Just boiling.
Fuck these guys. What do they know?
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, dude, the power of the triangle is a real thing, man.
It is.
All right.
I think that's
Sweet.
a wrap, bro.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap.